Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are the Dark Mother Daughters. I am Lady Drasmin.
And I am DragonJedi44.
Yes, and this is our live, unscripted conversation space exploring lineage, shadow, rage, embodied power, devotion, and the intelligence of the body. We are here to speak from experience, to witness what's present, and alchemize in real time. Whether you are here live, welcome. Let's see who joins us live tonight, or you are catching the replay. Allow yourself to land here fully and be in your body.
Beautiful. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for being here with us or watching the replay, whichever it is. And we are the Dark Mother Daughters. What does that mean? The Dark Mother, also known as the Dark Goddess, the Mother Goddess, the one who can sit in the darkness and not be consumed by it, and the one that can alchemize and transmute the darkness, one who can face the darkness with fearlessness and ferocity and be transformed by it and work with the darkness. It does not mean evil, it does not mean bad. When we refer to the Dark Mother, we are referring to the archetypes, to the goddesses throughout ancient history that we resonate with strongly, and we are part of their lineage, and we are here to perpetuate their beauty, their glory, all of the lessons that they've taught, the lessons they can teach us, and also to bring them back into this now timeline, as a lot of them have been erased and forgotten. So to re-energize that and to honor all those different aspects within ourselves that we see within these goddesses, that what resonates, and to educate those that are listening that may also resonate. And as you listen to us, you might say, hey, that really does resonate with me. And maybe I am a Dark Mother daughter, and you might be. So be open
Mm, mhm,
mindedness.
mhm. And Dark Mother Sons are available, are not available. Interesting word. Dark Mother Sons are available. What are they available for? Dark Mother Sons are also welcome, and these are the brothers who
Yes.
respect and honor the Dark Mother, both as the goddess and the daughters who honor and bring forward the messages of the Dark Mothers. So, welcome, brothers and sisters and days, to Dark Mother Daughters. So, who are we speaking into today, Miss Dragon Jedi?
So today we are talking about Persephone, which I'm very excited about because I was just reading up on her, and so many things stood out. And I feel like I absolutely relate to her story with what I'm experiencing right now. And this is our seventh episode, our video number 7 in this series. So we are making our way through. And will it be the 13 weeks, right?
Yes, our last live, we actually decided this last week after celebrating our midway point. Woo woo! Success and consistency, success and consistency. Okay. Um and we decided that our 13th episode is going to be a live, your choice, open field, maybe bring a couple of them in, bring all of them in. We'll see what comes up.
Love that. I love that. Yes. So I know that you've been working with Persephone, and I will say that she's not one that I have been working with. This is more a new connection for me. But as I just read about her, I was like, I don't know how I haven't connected with her yet in this lifetime, because her story really, really resonates. And especially the part of her being pulled into or kidnapped or abducted and brought into the lower realm, into a hell realm. I've literally experienced that. I feel like I'm experiencing that right now. And what I loved is reading about that. She doesn't just stay in the trauma of it, she transforms and she becomes stronger and wiser as a result of her experience. And then she becomes a queen of the underworld. She becomes a queen, a badass of the realm that she was taken to, rather than a
Mhm.
victim. And so
Mhm.
I just think that she's a badass, and she has that duality of she can be soft and nurturing, but can also sit in the darkness and not be consumed by it. And she has that ability, and resonates so closely with Ishtar, Inanna, and Astarte as well. So I'm excited to learn more about her. So I'd love to hear from you. How long have you been working with her, and what should we know? What should we know about Persephone and calling her in?
Queen Persephone, deep bow. So, mother, this goddess archetype. I don't remember when her name first appeared to me, but I remember the experience. And it was a moment where I was in my 13th year of life. And I was going through a personal experience at that time, and I stumbled upon a pomegranate. And it was my first time finding a pomegranate. And I actually stole the pomegranate from the altar
That's
in
hilarious.
this Hindu temple. And I
Whoa.
didn't feel too guilty about it, because I was a Christian. So, that was a false God. I have done my
Nice.
forgiveness and penance. But I stole this a pomegranate because it was like cut open and it was so interesting. Just like it's made of seeds and they're freaking delicious.
Mm-hmm.
So I had this pomegranate in my 13th year of life, and I started noticing a change within the darkness that I was going through with the cultistic abuse that I was experiencing outside of the home and the abuse inside the home. And through the last almost 20 decades now of working with Queen Persephone's energy, not really knowing that was her name, just knowing her energy, and then coming into her name sometime in the last 10 years, what I have learned is that the way to truly be a citizen of life is to be able to live in joy and pain simultaneously. And so she brings that medicine of, okay, I'm in this darkness, but I'm still going to choose to bind myself to life so I can never be undead. And her teachings have continued to carry me through the various identities that I have gone through with different careers, different roles as parent, teacher, sister, guide. She helps with navigating the seasonal transitions of life with ease and grace. Sometimes it's a time of inward, and sometimes it's a time of outward. So power is embodied and earned through the walking through of those seasons and learning the wisdoms within them, moving in the between the worlds and deciding the return, because she is one with the seed. So she's both like hanging out with fate and also fate, but not fate. She's got that like inner control to like spin the wheel of time.
Wow. That's really cool.
So that's the teaching that I've, received in my almost 20 years of eating pomegranates and connecting to Queen Persephone and asking her to just teach me how to live with my seasons and cycles, teach me how to connect with Gaia's seasons and cycles. It eventually led to my union ceremony with Gaia. And a big part of the work I do today is inviting and sharing with others the power of cyclical living. And I love the timing, the fucking timing of this conversation is just like blowing my mind because we are in this like full moon.
Oh,
energy
yeah. Oh, yeah.
of completions,
Yes.
going into this like Aries era. Talk about, yeah, we've been in the underworld and we've been participating in our own sorrow and we've been getting a little drunk on our victimhood and now we are alchemizing it and transcending.
Oh, 100%. It's
So
happening. It's happening in the collective. It's happening in the
it's
microcosm. It's happening in the macrocosm.
oh,
It's
it's so good.
everywhere
So
I'm
good.
looking. Yep.
So it's like you're alive in both worlds
Mhm.
and you are also deeply present when you are in either or.
That's incredible. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing that. That's such a fun story about the pomegranate. So you were, I don't think, I don't know. We've probably talked about you being raised Christian. I was raised Catholic, but at what age did you start your deconstruction? And like,
Oh my.
was that part of it? Like the pomegranate, did that help you in some way, or how did that?
No, actually, I mean, the pomegranate ended up becoming a part of my deeper journey with my womb cycles. But no, it didn't really, I never connected it to deconstruction of like the Christianhood that I was in. But I guess, through that participation with the nectar of the goddess, um, huh, I never connected that until now.
Yeah, I mean, the reason I ask is
Interesting.
because I was 13 when I started. I mean, as a child sitting in the church, I remember seeing right through the spell work and knowing that spells were being cast on the members. I could see, I'm like, they're under hypnosis. Like, what is this? These people are under a spell. But when I started learning about mythology, when I started learning about the goddesses and the pantheons, that resonated. That made
Mhm,
sense to me. I was like, okay, this feels more real to me. This feels more rational and it makes more sense to me.
mhm,
And that's where I began. So around 13 is where I began my deconstruction. So that's why I wondered about it, because the exposure of whether it be a symbol, right,
mhm,
or a specific goddess that you learn about, for
mhm.
me, it's like the truth resonates within that.
So that's really interesting that you bring that to the field because I didn't intentionally start deconstructing the Christian distortion, shall we say, but until about 10 or so years ago. But I'm recognizing that I had my first bleed. Like the pieces are connecting right now. Like I had my first bleed sometime around then and it was not safe for me to bleed, shall we say, as a woman in India at that age. um, and so I'm seeing now how that pomegranate coming into my field helped me basically pause my cycles until I was able to escape India and move to the US, and then I had my first bleed and forward after I turned 15. And so I'm realizing like that's one of Persephone's teachings is just like choosing the timing and saying no to premature growth because of that recognition and awareness like this is not a safe environment to have life. So I can hold that in by myself. In and that's such an interesting connection that I just made and never thought of until now. I love that.
Yeah, that happens
Wow.
with us. We tend to awaken certain things within each other as we dialogue, the expansion of
Yeah.
consciousness, connecting the dots. Yes.
Yeah. But like the deconstruction, like the first time I noticed that something was off, I was around the age of, I want to say 3.
Mhm.
Um, and I remember asking my father, like, where's the mother? Like when they were reciting the Lord's Prayer, like the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, I'm like, where's the mom? Like, why is the son there? Like that did not make sense to my 3-year-old brain. Like my 3-year-old brain is like, this shit don't make no sense, boy. Um
That's awesome.
so I I mentioned it and I got an ass whooping of my life, so I never questioned it again. But like from the age of 3, there was always this like something's not right,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
And I feel like
Definitely.
that layer of protected me. And then the
Yep.
pomegranate, coming into my field, and it was like this Christmas thing. It was like glowing and I just had to eat it. Like it was so compelling on this altar plate, and I felt so much guilt for years. Maybe that's why I like forgot the memory, right? But I felt so much guilt for years about like stealing something from a holy plate after I came into like my field of awareness of like, oh, that was actually a sacred place. And
Yes.
I ate the offering for the goddess. So like, okay, I see the karmic consequence of that and why I've experienced certain things in my life. Thank you for the power. Ouch. Um, and then now we are here. So age 3, that question, age 13, the pomegranate, and now we're here 20 whatever years later, speaking into how this is all coming full circle and we're seeing in collective,
Mhm.
like this
Yeah.
inner deconstruction that we've been doing is now being seen on a greater scale.
Yes, it is. It is. And I would love if we can even like go a little further back for anyone who's listening doesn't know much about Persephone, right? So she is from the Greek pantheon, right?
Mhm.
So a Greek goddess.
Yes. Yes.
And so Hades pulled her into the underworld, or when you read about it, it says kidnapped or abducted. So,
He raped her
oh, okay. That part
and
I did not know.
impregnated her.
Okay.
Yes, he raped her, and so because she was with his seed, she grabbed one of those pomegranates and bound herself to the living world to protect her child,
Oh,
to
okay.
protect her life. So she intentionally bound herself. She's one of the few goddesses that intentionally bound herself to her power so that she could not be stripped of it.
All right, that's incredible. And I think that's so relevant because all of the binding that I've been obsessing over, fixated on, researching, doing my detective work, right? I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission about the binding. And the binding that I'm on a mission for is involuntary binding, right? Binding against free will. So this is one of the first stories I've come across where she's willingly binds herself. And I think that is absolutely fascinating.
Mhm.
Very clever, very intelligent of her, and to do that, to save
Fucking
herself.
genius.
Yeah,
Genius.
as many of the ancient goddesses were, right? And that's what, so the involuntary binding is the patriarchy binding that intelligence, binding that ferocity, that I mean that's badass. It's badass.
Yeah, and it's like that principle of alchemizing the poison and becoming greater than it.
Right.
Because
Exactly.
because when we bind ourselves to our own magic, like I've already done this to myself. Like that's not going to work if you try and
Mhm.
do that.
Mhm.
And we know how to do that, right?
Mhm.
That's conversation that happens inside temple. So she really teaches the wisdom of how to retain yourself when you are forced into choices that you would never choose to be you're in positions you would never choose to be in. Like rape is not something that someone ever chooses to be in,
Yeah, that's why it's
right?
called what it is, right? That's why it has
Right.
that
And
name.
so
Mhm.
like, and I feel like the deeper teaching of Persephone right now is like the rape of the land, and we're seeing the restoration with land back that's happening quicker and quicker, which is just such an answered prayer, let me tell you what. And moving between worlds, right? Like we are literally in this in between place of the old world is dying and the new world is like simultaneously being rebuilt. And on that note, kind of funny, I want to point out that this is the first time our outfits have not matched. And we're like, you're green over there with the live, and I'm brown and black over here with the
Mhm.
underline. And I just find that like so artistically amusing and divinely comical that we're
I
in
think
this like
it's perfect too, because like I have earth tones. So from what I read, she spent 6 months in the upper world, or I don't know if it's called an upper world, but the life of the living, right?
Mhm,
The world of the living, the world of the living, and in the realm of life and fertility. And
mhm,
so, even though this is camo, it's still earth tones. And then she spent 6 months of the time in the underworld, right? And so that split, that is
mhm,
funny. This is the first, and it's funny because for some reason I was drawn to these colors today, and I had them on, and I was gonna change, but I was like, I was just too tired. I'm laying in bed. I'm like, I'm just going on with what I got. I'm not doing anything different. And so the
mhm,
fact that that's working in a symbolic way is interesting.
mhm,
But so say more about that, like split between worlds, like 6 months, because the other thing I thought of when I first read that, the first
mhm,
thing that came in was Florida and like northerners, the snowbirds, right? The northerners go to Florida for, they're called snowbirds because they go to Florida for 6 months and then they go to back up north for 6 months. And I'm in Florida right now taking care of my
mhm,
parents. And
mhm,
I do feel like it is a hell realm down here in Florida. It just feels like I've been pulled into, I mean, but there are moments of joy, like what you're talking about, like that simultaneous, like holding joy and pain at the same time. This is a
mhm,
huge opportunity for me to learn to alchemize and transmute, transform that pain. And I
mhm.
am every day. I can feel. I actually can feel the alchemization. And I'm curious if you get bodily sensations when you're alchemizing or transforming, because I feel this like pressure inside, not on, but inside my chest. Like there's actual fire starting to like get stoked in there.
Yeah.
You can feel it.
Yeah, so like I love that you brought that up because alchemy is painful.
Mhm.
Okay? Like doing that alchemical work through our body for ourselves, for collective, for our generations, like we are always alchemizing because we are literally a part of the earth. And that's
Mhm.
part of the teaching that comes through the pomegranate. It's like the seed is put in the earth and then becomes itself again and again and again. Right. So it's like, how do we go deeper into our own experience of living through the cycles of loss and life and rebirth?
Loss and life and rebirth. Wow, that just hit me. Loss, life, and rebirth. Because for people listening, I'm in Florida because my father is not doing well, and he just recently qualified for hospice, and so we now have hospice involved. And this transition, right? We have a care team now coming in and helping us transition and prepare him for the afterlife. Um,
Right.
so it's just, and I do feel through the pain that I've been experiencing, I do feel like something is being rebirthed. Like I'm constantly reworking myself down here. Our parents trigger us, and my mom triggers me, and it triggers this anger that no one else has triggered. And her and I have been working through it in such a beautiful way, where like the old me comes out and lashes out. And then the more evolved part of me comes forward and says, okay, we're not doing this anymore. And we need to handle this differently, and sit with that emotion rather than react.
Mhm.
But I also love that Persephone has that duality, which I'm experiencing that duality through this experience of fluctuating from like the nurturer, the healer, the caregiver,
Mhm.
love and kindness, to a more fierce, she became queen of the underworld, which I really want to talk about that, because she got dragged in there against her free will and then mastered it and became the queen of it. And rather than sit in the trauma of it, she became stronger and more wise as a result of it. And I do that resonates so much because I feel like with what I'm going through right now, I am becoming more wise and stronger as a result of this
Mhm.
experience.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. It's really about recognizing that choice cannot be undone. That choice has consequence, and we have to allow for that to unfold as it will. And being with that, right? That is the highest level of embodiment, is when we can be with both, stay
Mhm.
steady with the grief and the joy and the humanity and the divinity of it all, and just be with it, be present with it. And in this current world, there's so much noise. I mean, the attention span is so short. Anyone still here in the room live?
Yeah. Do we have anyone actually here with us?
Meow
I don't.
meow. I see some viewers and some wonderful likes. Thank you for everyone who's here live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Drop your questions, drop your insights. Um, yeah, you're definitely in this tender place, right? And she really holds that grace so well of literally just how to be with such pain, right? Like she was raped and her mother cried. And that's a silent teaching here, is the tears of the mother. The myth goes, the tears of the mother is what created the pomegranate seeds.
Incredible. That's an incredible story.
And and that's why she was there for that time, right? It's like the seeds had need their time. You plant a seed in the ground, you don't keep digging it to see if it's growing, like you're gonna kill the
Mm.
fucking thing. So you can't, you have to like let your tears cleanse your soul. You have to let them come through. And this is actually bringing something up for me. Yesterday I cried for around 5 hours. Like my face hurt, my jaw hurt, I was shaking, sweating, and it was just like this rebirth grief that was coming through for myself, for the lineage that I'm birthing, by fully accepting a completely new name and not taking any of my birth or father's name with me. Like this deep deconstruction work I've done has been about um, returning to the divine, sacred, sovereign essence and retaining that power no matter what is going on in the world or what is going on in my inner world, you know?
Mhm. Thank you so much. I want to note the comments right now. We have a new subscriber, and some kind words are being spoken, and I love that. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Staying off the grid. I love that. I love that name. Breaking the matrix by staying off the grid. And thank you for the compliment. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being here. And they say, you ladies do know it's all about Athena, though, right? Athena is amazing. I love Athena. Athena is one of my favorites. But this series is about many different goddesses and those that are part of that dark mother archetype. Is Athena on our list? I don't think she is for this
She's
series.
not. She's more of a warrior sex priestess.
She is a badass, but maybe not quite a dark mother. But not that she's like any less than, it's not comparing. It's just different
A
frequencies,
different seat
really.
of power, a different
Yeah,
authority,
a
a
different
different
authority.
teaching.
That's right, and a different lesson. Exactly.
Yeah, right. And speaking of the other goddesses, this is one of Persephone's teaching, is like you can belong to multiple worlds simultaneously.
Oh,
And
that's true
and
for us too. That's true for humans.
And that's literally what the human experience is about, is like living in different worlds. You've got your work world and you've got your home world, you've got your play world. I mean, we've got different worlds that we entertain and engage in. Every
Mhm.
room of your house is a different world. Every
Yeah.
experience that you're in is a different world, right? So, one of the reflections that I would love to bring in is, where are you being asked to wait?
Mm. Mhm.
And in that waiting, play. Make it a good time.
Yes. Oh, yeah. And that's something. It's so funny you say that because that's exactly what I'm doing while I'm in Florida. I'm managing and navigating the biggest challenge of my life. I came down here with the goal to move my father into a nursing home, and we're just skipping right over that step and going right to hospice, which I was not expecting. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, it's a big the shift that we can go through as humans is incredible. And I also just want to say to the staying off the grid. I understand that Athena is your favorite. I totally get that because I feel that way about Astarte. So I get that you get very excited about one particular goddess, and that goddess really resonates deep. And I love that for you. I love that. I have a very
Mhm.
important question. I do. Hold on. Do you ladies think I'm a little bit funny? You see, I'm picking up good energy. I mean, yeah, I think you're funny and you're kind so far. That's what I'm getting. And thank you for being here and thank you for commenting.
Mhm. Mhm. Mm.
So yeah, when I was reading about Persephone earlier, because I was like, I do need to brush up on her. I'm not as familiar. But as I read about her, I was like, "Oh, wait a second. No, I am actually familiar. I am actually familiar with Persephone. I've just forgotten." Because everything I was reading, it was like showing me that I am very much aligned with her, um, her story. And I feel
Mhm.
like I recently did get, with the Florida situation, getting pulled into this underworld, but alchemizing and transforming through it, and then also finding pockets of joy because I'm not allowing the darkness of the situation to consume me. I'm making sure that I'm carving out self care, getting out in nature, meditating, reading, going for walks, and finding those little pockets of joy throughout the day so that this experience is not completely and utterly traumatizing me. And that's such an important balance to find going through hardship. And I think Persephone teaches us that. I mean, how epic. Like she gets pulled into the underworld and then bippity boppity boop. She's like, bitches, I'm the queen now down here. Okay. And I love that because like I'm down here in Florida and like in the short time I've been here, I'm like, we got a social worker from the county coming in. We got more healthcare aides coming in. We got hospice set up. Like I'm just like boom, boom, boom. I got this like orchestration going on, bringing in relief and care, and it just all feels so divinely orchestrated. And so as challenging as this is, at the end of the day, I look back, I'm like, I'm slaying it down here. I'm like really vibrating with Persephone of just mastering it and not being consumed by it, not being completely traumatized and staying in that victim energy.
Yeah, and the thing that I love about Persephone, Queen Persephone being a part of this series is like, dark mothers are usually associated with rage and fire, which yes, some of them true. Yet this is one of the dark mothers who is gravity forward
Mhm.
and loves to party while she's waiting for the seasons to turn. Like that's where her and I like really connect, is when we party together. We're like, all right, we're just in the season right now. We're just gonna have a party and just drink some wine and eat some fruit and connect with friends. And sometimes there's some weird people that come in, but it's okay because they're just meant to be here in this moment, and they cycle in and out. And so I've had a lot of relationships in my life that have been very short term, but it has brought me a rich amount of experience that allows me to connect deeper with humanity.
Mhm.
and have those conversations and have those connections that um, create that feeling of safety. The highest compliment that I ever receive in clients and with my students and friends is that they feel so safe in my home and in my presence. It's like that to me is how I can welcome others into the teachings of Persephone. It's like creating that safe space within yourself.
And the unconditional regard, right?
Yeah.
And something I'm learning with my own mother through this experience is the process of forgiveness and healing through hardship. Like when we're in hard times, there's aspects of us that can come forward that we might not like about ourselves, and being
Mhm.
able to sit with that and acknowledge that and look in the mirror and say, I want to do better. I'm going to do better. I'm going to work on that. That's an aspect of me that needs healing, that needs growth, that needs
Mhm.
more learning, and
Mhm.
more evolution.
Mhm. There's a this queen mother also brings that medicine of embodying both mother and matron at the same time, the crone energy,
Oh yeah.
which I went through that initiation with the death of my brother. I became both the matron. I became the matron of that family, like, and but am still mother. It was a weird experience. Um, but it brings this deeper, again, like nourishment to the soul, that then, like the pomegranate, one seed can then have 40 little baby pomegranate trees, and feed 40 people, so it's like the ability to multiply in like massive quantities through while going through the hell realm. I'm so excited and curious to like what you come out beaming as after this whole experience in Florida?
Oh, I
Because the
can
last time
already.
was super transformative for you.
Oh yeah. No, and I think that, that's why I do feel strongly that I am a daughter of the Dark Mother, because of that, the process of alchemy that I know is instilled within me, and that I know whatever pain I go through, and even physical pain. Like my stomach was in so much pain yesterday. I threw up last night. Whether it be stress or something I ate, I'll never truly know. But I remember putting my hand on my stomach, and the heat of the energy that I was sending into my own body, I was like, "Whoa," and I refused. I checked with ChatGPT on my symptoms, and ChatGPT was trying to tell me to go to the emergency room or the ER, urgent care, and I was like, "All right, hold on. I'm gonna breathe through this because I really don't want that experience right now. I really, really, really don't want to have to go to an urgent care or ER while I'm down here." So I said, "I'm gonna heal myself." And then I did. Like all of a sudden everything got alleviated, relief. I got to go to sleep. I woke up. There was no pain, no symptoms at all. So whether it's emotional pain or physical pain that I'm going through, there's something mechanically built within me to do something about it. I don't just sit there and suffer. I'll experience the suffering. I'll notice the suffering. I'll acknowledge the suffering, but I don't stay there. I always, always do something about it, and I heal it. I work through it. I overcome it. Every single challenge I've been facing, last visit and this visit, I've overcome and made growth and progress and forward movement. And
Mhm.
that is, it's a great skill to have, and I love teaching people how to do that because I think it's so common. And I see this, in the realm of mental health, as a therapist, of people's mindset matters. And so when you have the mindset of, I'm going through this sucks, I hate it, and you just stay there, you're going to stay in that suffering. And it's so important.
Yes.
It's to alchemize and transform it, you do have to feel it. And I would never suggest bypassing or minimizing or skipping by it. Like be in it, right? With Persephone, you can sit in the darkness but not be consumed by it. You can sit in suffering but not be consumed by it. You can do something about it. There's something you can do. And as a therapist, I'm often teaching clients about that. Like, okay, this happened to you, right? And now what? That's a question to ask. Now what are we going to do? What's
Right.
next, right? Because we're
Okay.
not just going to sit in that pain. We're going to
Mhm.
work with that pain. We're going to heal that pain. We're going to learn from that pain. And one of
Yeah.
my favorite questions I teach clients to ask is, what is this teaching me? And what can I learn from this?
Mhm.
And when
Mhm.
you ask those questions, your brain and your higher intelligence will automatically shift into gear of, let's figure that out.
Mhm.
We're not just going to stay in the suffering. We're going to do something about it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And thank you for sharing your experience. I really love how you are so I deeply appreciate how open you are with your personal experiences and sharing that with collective. Um, because I feel like it normalizes, just our human experience when we
100%.
share, like, yeah, I'm going through human stuff. It's gross and deal.
Yes, absolutely. Like, and also I want to, like, as we if I can't talk, I'm tired. Acknowledge that, going back to like the comparison of Persephone and Inanna, where Inanna chooses her descent, and
Mm,
comes out as Ishtar, and Persephone did not choose to descend. She got pulled into it, but the commonality is they both came out different. They both came out stronger and transformed by the process, and wiser.
well, yeah, I mean, you have to be, right? Or you're just dead or a worse version of yourself. The only way that you're going to make a name for yourself is if you actually step up and do something about what you want to do.
Hmm.
And, it's like she takes that power back. Like, it's like, oh, you're going to test me, motherfucker Hades? Watch this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I love
you know,
that energy.
and it's also like I love those questions that you bring to your clients, because one of the other reflection I was going to bring in is like, what are you trying to rush right now when you really just need to be with it?
Oh yeah. Just sitting with it is well, and a lot of people don't know, they haven't learned the skill to tolerate sitting with it. So a lot of people's default setting is avoidance, right? They feel the
Yes.
pain, they're in the suffering, and they're just, you know, d- understandably so, desperately seeking to get away from it. But
Hmm.
sometimes the way out of it is actually going through it and allowing it. And, I'm learning so much about that acceptance and allowing with my father being in hospice. Like, you can't resist, I mean, you can resist it. I'm choosing not to resist it.
Hmm.
I'm looking at it as a blessing, that he is at the end of life, and he has a whole team around him, surrounding him. He's in his own home. He can pass peacefully now, where he will be relieved of that suffering. And knowing that, I am then relieved, as well. Um,
And then it gives you space to be his daughter
mhm,
and have that time with him, right? Like, that's such a precious gift to be able to spend time with him right now. And okay, do a little more, of that mother daughter healing work that's still happening, ancestral stuff. Okay, okay, we'll get there, right? So it's this beautiful journey that you're on, and I feel like there is a collective reflection here with what you're going through. It's like returning to the roots, returning to our homes, return, like, we have to we have to reconnect with our ancestry, with our lineage, with our dirt.
mhm. Yeah. Oh, I feel like that is happening. And what's wild too is I'm going to Scotland in May, and that book
Mhm.
was tripped before I came down to Florida, before I knew the condition my dad truly was in. And with my Scottish heritage, I'm thinking the ancestors lined that up for me.
Mhm.
100%. My ancestors, like, they orchestrated so much of this. They're like, you're going to go to your homeland and really awaken that ancestral DNA over in Scotland after this
Yeah.
experience.
It's like that deeper layer, like, right? It's like the layers of the cake, the onion, the lettuce, whatever you want, to bring into the orbit. You're going through your deeper layers of reclaiming, your power and your truth. And
Mhm.
that's the cyclical medicine. And I just love that I get to witness you in this rise.
Yeah, thank you. And I feel like, I mean, the last visit that I came down, when I came back to Massachusetts, I was depleted. I was exhausted, but I also came back stronger. Like how Persephone becomes stronger from this experience being in the hell realm. It toughens you up. It does. Like it shows you what you're capable of. And this is something I want people to know is that we are so much more capable of things that we don't know we're capable of until we're put in a situation where we're challenged. And that's why
Mhm.
challenge can be good. You know, like we don't want life to be so fluffy and easy all the time because then you get complacent and you actually don't evolve quite as much when things are just
Yes.
comfortable and easy all the time.
Yeah.
So, and that's something else I teach clients is that like when you're in challenge and you're in suffering, like
Mhm.
rather than just focusing on, oh my gosh, this sucks, I'm suffering. What are you capable of? Look at what you're capable of as you're
Mhm.
handling this. Like, look at the skills you have. What comes forward during this challenge? How are you getting through this challenge? What is getting you through this challenge? Those are some great questions to ask when you're in it.
Yes.
And
I love that. Love that. And in fact, that arrested development and disassociation, which is like doom scrolling, avoidance, watching, binge eating, binge whatever, those two things are the shadow. That's when you're not allowing yourself to trust in your own innate intelligence. Like your body is intelligent enough. It will literally just shut down when
Mhm.
it doesn't want to work.
Yeah.
When it's
Yeah.
tapped out. Like eventually you can choose to be with the experience or disassociate it to the point where now you're just diseased and sickly.
Well, and I see so in my experience as a mental health therapist and also personal experience, what I've witnessed is that people who are quick to avoid, people who are quick to numb out, right, with substance use especially, people who are quick to evade accountability, they stay stunted.
Mhm.
They're emotionally
Yeah.
stunted. They don't actually evolve.
Mhm.
To sit in the pain, to work through the pain is where the growth happens. Like the seed you talked about in the ground earlier. The seed
Mhm.
is in the ground, it's in the dark, and it pushes through and it
Right.
sprouts and it
Mhm.
grows into a tree or a plant or whatnot. And
Yeah.
so I think it's
And
so
it has
important.
its yeah, and it has its own intelligence, right? It
Yeah.
knows what it needs. It has its own timing. And this is what's going to this is earlier I was talking about like consistency is success. Like that is literally how we work with seasons and cycles. It's like staying consistent and present with it.
Yes.
It
Presence.
start small if you have to, but that avoidance creates stunted growth, creates a
And
lot
back
of these creates what.
oh, I said, well, back go ahead and finish. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, no. So, well, we all know where stunted growth leads to. Just
Narcissism.
yes, that genetic abnormalities.
Oh, well, a host of things, a whole host of things. It doesn't lead to anything good. Okay. Avoidance and evasion don't lead to anything good.
It's the path to death. Whatever way you're looking at it, you are carving a quick path to your own death and destruction. And it affects your family and friends and the humans around you, whether you want to believe and accept it or not, because we are literally breathing in the same air. We are in the same frequency field. For those of like our hearts are emitting frequencies, and that can be measured on an EKG machine, and you can see the peaks of your health, and the spaces in between the high peaks is a signature of emotion, so it's like we're sharing the same air, we're sharing the environment, we're sharing the same soil, we're sharing the same water in one form or another. And to think that your thoughts and actions and emotions don't affect the greater whole is just willful ignorance.
Absolutely. Well, and going back to the mindset thing, right? Or like our inner belief, our inner thoughts, our self-talk, how important that is. Like, do you think what was Persephone's inner dialogue? What was her self-talk? What was her mindset when she got dragged into hell, into the underworld? Like she she did something in her mind before she could do anything externally. So
Mhm,
she had a mindset of, I'm not going to stay here and suffer. I'm not going. She rose up and transformed in response. And that takes a certain type of mindset. So when we're in that pain and suffering, the mindset is what either is going to perpetuate it and keep you stuck in it and keep you
mhm,
trapped in it, or your mindset, your inner belief system is what's going to help you transform, learn, grow, and rise up and shine your way
mhm.
through it.
Mhm. I love that you brought in the mindset because I literally this week submitted my chapter to an anthology that I'm a part of that's coming out this summer. Super
Yay,
excited. My
that's
third
awesome.
anthology, and it's titled
Congratulations.
Mind Over Matter.
I love it. That's awesome. I can't wait to read that.
And my chapter title is Unbinding the Spell of
Yes.
Toxic Family Dynamics.
Ah, I love it. That's
So like
amazing.
the timing of all of this, where you're at and what I'm experiencing right now, it's like I have just broken my own spell by like putting to words my truth and my journey with this unbinding of this spell of the word try. And
Mhm.
the mindset that got me through everything I have experienced in my life, I don't even know where it came from, right? Probably the cosmic void, dark mothers, all of them, is I do not accept. I do not accept that this is my life. I do not accept this trauma. I do not accept that this pain is permanent. And it is what has allowed me to repair my body. And that journey of unbinding the spell of try is what eventually gave me the three energy mastery keys that I teach in various places. So mindset, yes,
So
yes, I
important.
love that. I love that because it really does start here. How we speak to ourselves, how
Yeah.
we speak about ourselves, and it will show up in how we speak to others.
Yeah. And
Eventually, it will come out.
what we believe we're capable of matters as well, right? So
Mm,
like I'm going to make a comparison, not to be mean or critical towards my mother, but my mindset is solution focused. When there's an issue, when there's a complaint, when there's a problem, my mindset is look for the solution, and I go into solution problem solving mode. Her brain goes into problem solution problem. There's problems to that solution, right? So like the problem is, my dad has dementia. He could get up at any time and try to walk on his own and fall. We don't have a hospital bed yet. Her solution is go in there every 10 or 15 minutes. It's exhausting. You know what I mean? Like, and so my solution is get a baby monitor. Her reaction
mhm,
to that is, oh, where are we going to put that? Like, she can't even compute. Like, it's just a thing you plug in. That's it. That's it. That's all you have to do is plug it into the wall. Like, it's so simple. But her brain, because it's so conditioned to seek the problem and focus on the problem and the complaint, she rejects the solution.
mhm, mhm,
And so
mhm.
it's just our mindset can either be our enemy or our best friend. She actually said that. My mom even said that. She said our mind can be our enemy or our best friend.
I
And
love
so
that. And I feel like that's a great closing teaching to bring for Persephone, because I would love to see if there's an incantation or a blessing or an offering that comes through her, through you today,
yeah.
um, in your gift and mastery. But before we go into that, and then
Mhm.
we'll go into our grounding nervous system practice and close off. Um, let's complete the mindset piece, right? Like, let's bring it in full body integrated. What do you feel yourself being called into practice to bring more of those Persephone teachings into your life?
Um, Say that one more time, the question.
like, you recently started connecting with Queen Persephone, and you're like, I feel really connected with her. So I'm
Mhm,
curious if you've intuited a way to integrate her more in your
mhm.
practices or not.
Yeah, no, I think absolutely. I mean, she's someone that I 100%, I think I'm going to through meditation, sit with and work with a little bit more. I want to read more about her. I know a lot of our literature is infiltrated and influenced, but I do want to learn more about her, whether that's through the Akashic Records or YouTube channel. But I think that I want to explore Persephone a little bit more. But yeah, I think the cycles, working with the cycles and the transformation, and as I leave Florida, as I'm driving back to Massachusetts, I'm gonna have her on my mind as I'm, going back into a different world. I'm leaving one world behind and going back into another world that I'm more familiar with. I think that just having her present and connecting with her more. But I can't think of any particular thing right now. I mean, nature, like I'm getting visions of a park right now that I've been going to. It's called Freedom Park. It's called Freedom Park, and there's a trail that goes all around this beautiful pond. And the other day that I was there, a bald eagle came out of nowhere and just soared right over the pond. And I've never seen a bald eagle in Florida. I was like, whoa, I didn't even know they were down here. And Freedom Park and the unbinding, the binding, I think that I would like to work with Persephone on how I can bind my powers to myself so they cannot be stolen again. you know?
Mhm,
How can
mhm,
I use that protection magic? I want to ask her for guidance of now that I'm reclaiming this aspect of me, how do I protect that so that it
mhm,
cannot be messed with by
mhm,
others?
mhm. Yes, yes. Beautiful. She has an answer for you. I'll tell you later.
Okay. I look
This
forward
is
to
for
it.
your ears only. But I
Okay.
do love the intuitive ways to connect, and I asked that question also for our audience, right, and those listening, and those who might be connecting with Persephone for the first time, or might want to connect with a different dark mother and curious of like, how do I do that? And what you shared is just perfect, simple brilliance, right? Just sit, connect in meditation, feel where you're being called, talk to her, right? Like, it's a relationship that you cultivate, and you cultivate relationships by showing up and talking and hanging out and doing
Yeah.
things together, eating
And I think
pomegranates.
I'm gonna get a pomegranate. I'm gonna get a pomegranate because you know what? I remember the first time eating a pomegranate as a child, I was so wowed. Like you peel a little layer and there's like a whole other row of seeds, and like, whoa, like you just keep going. All those layers and little pockets. I think that getting a pomegranate sounds great.
Yeah. I often have pomegranates on my altars, or sometimes I'll have them in my front doors. Like, Persephone Queen is one of the core mothers that I work with. But she's always more like back here rather than like an active presence.
Mhm.
And I feel like it's because I've just been connected with her my almost my pretty much my whole life. Um, yeah, so mindset, and then bringing it in the body with experiences that feel playful and light and connected, and yeah, bringing greater balance into what we are choosing to bring awareness to, and being very clear on what we're bypassing. And that's a big collective theme right now, actually. Um, Bypassing is just no longer an option. Like,
No.
April is like the last month
Mhm.
of the illusion. It's like that last 3%.
Crumble, it shall go. Crumble, crumble, crumble. It's going down. It's going down. I love it. She is a transmission is coming through. The Freedom Park and the bald eagle sovereignty. The word sovereignty and the word freedom is coming through. So I
Of course it is. I mean, my whole legacy is about restoring sacred sovereignty. So I just feel like I'm coming home full circle in this transmission, and I might cry.
That's okay if you do.
If I
Tears are
have any
allowed.
tears left after all the tears after the rivers that I flooded the desert with yesterday.
It's okay. It's okay. I know. It's funny that you and I both had an off day yesterday. I find that interesting.
Mhm.
Um, well, that's because we're sisters, right? So we're living parallel lives in some ways. Yep.
Mm.
So what I'm being shown, what I'm hearing from Persephone is she wants to acknowledge that we have all been pulled into the darkness unwilling. This whole collective, right, has been invaded and put into suffering and torment with deliberation on purpose, with a very calculated plan over a long period of time. And what she wants the collective to know is that you will not stay there. It's not permanent. And right now, the darkness is collapsing because the light is becoming so bright. And when I say darkness is collapsing, I mean the negative type of darkness, not the positive, right? There are two different ways to look at the darkness. She's also wanting people to know that they will come out of this transformed, that this is evolution. What is happening right now in the collective is evolution. Empaths are rising, they're no longer taking bullshit. We're going to become like her, become the queen of the situation that we're in. We're in the situation that we're in, and we're not going to stay victim to it any longer. We've been victim long enough, and it's time for us to rise into our sovereignty as kings and queens of this realm, to take our realm back, to take our sovereignty back, and to experience true freedom.
Mm. Mm. Freedom, soul song. I'm feeling a transmission come through, a voice offering. So I'm going to invite our audience and you, beloved sister, to take a deep breath in and let that transmission settle for a moment. The acknowledging, the accepting, the celebration,
Mm.
the voice returning, the I am frequency, the seed that was planted, now revealing fruit. Onya yanya yasrinya washinya drohyonya dryasuni nyotrunya strunya dranyushi Di Allow the frequency to stir within you and awaken the soul song that is your unique frequency that has been waiting, that has been dormant. Now is the time to open your voice and claim your place in the seat of the earth. Ini Dini drinho senho drunhaniagoshi. Breathing softly, letting that settle, bringing it all in, bringing some soft s- sound or movement as you need to just let that fully settle into the nervous system, recalibrating, harmonizing into your deeper oneness, speaking life into your presence as you deepen, soften, normalize, stabilize this frequency. I am here. I am safe. I am allowed to feel deeply and not move to fix it. Sealing it all in, softening the breath, returning to the sacred sovereign center in the heart space. If anything was stirred tonight, you do not need to understand it yet. Integration happens through rest, water, breath, nature, and time. One more slow, deep breath here. Feeling, opening, expanding, receiving, stretching, taking up that space, giving a little joyful shimmy as you return. Feel the lightness of being held by Mother Earth.
Mm.
Welcome back.
Thank you so much. That was beautiful. And I love your voice. I love your frequency. That was really profound. That went through my whole body. I could feel it in my cells. So that concludes our episode 7 of the Dark Mother Daughters. Thank you all for being here with us, viewing this, and being open to this information. Your openness is what will help you evolve. Don't evolve closed minded. So thank you for your openness. And we shall see you next Tuesday for our 8th episode. We hope to see you on our live. And if not, hope you catch the replay.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Sister Allison, Dragon Jedi, Queen Goddess Priestess. Woohoo! Thank you for being here in this conversation with me today, for basically initiating yourself into Persephone through this series. I just love that I just witnessed and
Ooh, I just got
just
chills.
like
Oh, yeah.
just like I just got to experience your initiation into this dark mother mystery, and I just love that for you because
Thank you.
it's really, it's a grounded power.
I love it. I love it.
It's a grounded power that can only be experienced, that comes. So I'm just like celebrating you, and I'm celebrating everyone else who joined us as well for your presence. Those of you who were here live, however long you were here, coming back to catch the replay, hopefully. And those of you who have caught the replay, thank you for listening, your participation, and weaving your energy into the space. Know that this conversation meets you exactly when you're meant to receive it. As we close tonight, remember you do not have to carry everything alone, and you do not need to resolve what was opened. Leave behind what is not yours and focus on your peace. And until we meet again, stay close to your body, your breath, and your trotha. This is the Dark Mother Daughters.
Have a great night. Bye.